Hello there, bounding into comics. It is I, Skytalker, Stephen Kent, here to bring you, and in case you missed it, on 3 pieces of Star Wars news that you might have missed from this past week. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Mace Windu, Kylo Ren, and Anakin Skywalker. Let's begin. Up first, there is going to be a new Mace Windu novel. So for you fans of the prequels, Mace Windu, the purple lightsaber, Samuel L. Jackson, this will be for you. On August 6th, 2024, we're going to have a new addition to the canon from Random House Worlds author Stephen Barnes. You might know Stephen Barnes from the 2004 Legends classic, The Cestus Deception. This was a book that followed Obi-Wan Kenobi, Kit Fisto against Count Dooku during the height of the Clone Wars promotion material that was coming out in the early 2000s right after Attack of the Clones. I remember reading this book. It was good. It followed on an audiobook which first came out before this called The Hive. This book, which is called The Glass Abyss, follows Mace Windu in the weeks after Qui-Gon Jinn's death at the hands of Darth Maul. After Qui-Gon falls, Mace Windu feels very much out of balance with the Force. He receives a posthumous message that was meant for Qui-Gon Jinn from a world called Megatos, which has basically been destroyed by a solar flare, turned to crystal glass, and most of the population are living underground. So Mace Windu is going to go on a mission there to discover... we don't really know. So this will be a must-read for Mace Windu and prequel-era fans.
This party's over.
That's number 1. Number 2, another piece of gold for you prequel fans. I remember watching so many times Hayden Christensen versus Ewan McGregor, the behind-the-scenes footage for Star Wars Episode 3, the special edition, like DVD. I just watched so much of that documentary showing their training sequences for their epic fight on Mustafar. When I was a kid, me and my friends would practice all of the moves that Ewan and Hayden were doing in that battle. And so this is right up that alley. Ariana Greenblatt tweeted out a video from her training sessions with Hayden Christensen for the Ahsoka series, just showing a little bit of her choreography for the duel that she has on the World Between Worlds with Hayden Christensen. Now, this video was not originally shared because during the SAG-AFTRA strike, there was no ability for the actors to promote if they were going to stay in line with the unions. I mean, I guess you could say they had ability, but they weren't. So there wasn't any of this kind of behind-the-scenes footage of Ahsoka being shared. No promotion could be done. So this is just a nice little treat. If you like lightsaber duels, you like following the choreography and the changes between the sort of Nick Gillard era of saber duels to whatever it is that we have today in Star Wars. This is cool. Now, Ariana Greenblatt in the Ahsoka series played young Ahsoka in sort of a Clone Wars flashback that Ahsoka was experiencing in sort of this trippy out-of-body experience that she was having in episode 5 of the series. So Ariana Greenblatt only duels Anakin for just a couple of moves before she's kicked into another version of that vision where she's again played by Rosario Dawson. So here's a little look at that. It's just so cool. And number 3, Adam Driver was the host for this week's Saturday Night Live. And yes, he did talk a little bit about Star Wars and his role as Kylo Ren in his opening monologue, where he sat down in front of a piano and just played a couple Christmas tunes. But he also then led with, "I'm so tired of people coming up to me on the street and saying that
you killed Han Solo. I didn't kill Han Solo. Wokeness killed Han Solo."
Yeah, as you can imagine, this did not go over particularly well with sequel fans on Twitter who did not like that one Adam Driver could ever say the word wokeness or ascribe anything bad to the W word. But it's funny. Elicited a laugh from the audience. And it also just represents a certain amount of self-awareness about how the sequel trilogy is perceived. Was he being serious? Was it tongue-in-cheek? We'll never really know. The point of comedy is sometimes ambiguity. So While you might see some Star Wars fans on Twitter now debating whether or not Adam Driver is on their side or the other side of the wokeness in Hollywood debate, it doesn't really matter. It was a good joke. Well done. I view this as Adam Driver is aware of the discourse around the sequels and what went on with Han Solo's character and the divorce with Leia and the way that he went out. Sort of like The Last Jedi was aware of fandom discussions about the corruption of the Jedi Order, and you can kind of see that in Luke's dialogue when he's talking to Rey about the Jedi Order's shortcomings. This sort of, again, seems to me like Adam Driver has read the comments and knew what to say to make people chuckle. So anyways, that's your Star Wars roundup for this past week. I'm Stephen Kent, Skytalker. Thanks for watching Bounding into Comics. We'll see you again soon. May the Force be with you.